How's it going, everybody? So I just finished watching Batman Cape Crusader. The reason for this video, honestly, is to give my perspective on the show, how I feel about it, and also just a little bit of experience when it comes to Batman projects. So let's get right to it. I'm sick of Batman content. So a bit of a shocker, right? Because I've always been a Batman fan. I'm always very optimistic when it comes to the movies, TV shows, video games, you name it, right? I mean, Batman, that is one of my favorite comic book characters to this day. It's not even so much Batman content that bothers me. One of the reasons why it irritates me, Batman post year one, year two type of concept, where Batman is not really much of a recognizable figure. He doesn't really have the best relationship with the GCPD. We've seen this already, you know, Batman Begins, Batman Year One, Batman Arkham Origins, and the Batman movie starring Robert Pattinson. And now we have Batman Cape Crusader. This is a detective noir story. And there are some things that are interesting about the show. A good enough time has passed, so I will be getting into a little bit of spoilers. I believe it's the third episode. Bruce Wayne in particular, he's at a museum. He ends up encountering this person who is poking fun of these set of pearls, you know, on display. And he's just saying, what kind of dumb person would wear those set of pearls in this really dangerous neighborhood, which is Crime Alley? Bruce Wayne, I mean, like, he just snaps, you know, he just punches that guy. And then Bruce Wayne is sent to therapy, mental help. In some ways kind of funny because, you know, if you're a fan of, you know, Batman, you already know that the character has a few screws loose and he's still dealing with trauma. He's still dealing with, you know, the death of his parents. You know, you really get to see that side of Bruce Wayne. He needs help, you know. His therapy is being Batman, right? I mean, beating up bad guys, right? That's his therapy. You got other characters, right? I mean, we have Harley Quinn, we have the Penguin, who in this show, gender swapped. And then you have Two-Face, which that's one of the most interesting in Batman Cape Crusader. You know, people, you know, they change, you know, either they're trying to do for the good of their city, and, you know, the crime and corruption, but they end up becoming what they were fighting against, you know, and that's what we get to see with Harvey Dent, you know, someone who was, at least to a certain extent, was a decent human being, but then they end up becoming just a full-fledged monster. When it comes to those types of moments with characters and, you know, heroes and villains, you know, I really do appreciate like those types of little character studies and those types of arcs, you know. But with Batman Cape Crusader, overall, I'm not really entirely impressed by it. And I'm sure there's going to be a second season for sure. Am I going to check it out? Yes, obviously I am, because I can't help it sometimes. You know, if anyone ever really asked me if I ever wanted to like pitch an idea for like a Batman animated TV show, I guess my pitch would be that I'd like to see an older, you know, Batman who is not entirely retired. Maybe you get to see like a little bit of fear in his eyes, you know? I don't know, just a little bit, you know, just kind of make it a little bit more human. And that's how I feel like we get to see maybe a different side of Batman. Some of you might disagree with me. You might say like, well, yeah, no wonder you haven't been given a pitch, because that is a terrible idea. But I don't know. At least for me, that's something like I would like to play around with when it comes to like that type of story, you know. But Batman Cape Crusader, like I said before, guys, I've seen this type of story. There are some likable characters, but not a show where you have to really run towards this series. But if you're a Batman fan, of course, yeah, why not? You're going to watch it regardless. Just to briefly mention, I don't hate any of the other projects that I mentioned, you know, like Batman Begins or Batman Arkham Origins. Mind you, actually, a lot of those, you know, when it comes to Batman Begins, one of my favorite Batman movies. When it comes to Arkham Origins, sometimes I question if Arkham Origins or Arkham Asylum is my favorite out of that franchise. And the Batman, to me, is actually a very interesting Batman movie. But what I mean is that a lot of these, you know, movies and projects, they all have a lot of things in common. I feel like there needs to be some variety, you know, some differences, you know, side of Batman that we haven't really seen in a very long time. I know that I'm mentioning The Dark Knight Returns, you know, like an older grizzled Batman, because I know we've seen that with the animated The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2, and we briefly, a little bit with Ben Affleck's Batman, but yeah, you know, I don't know, I just feel like it'd be cool to revisit that type of version. But yeah, 7 out of 10, guys. That is my review on Batman Cape Crusader. So what are your thoughts on this show? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Post your comments down below. And as always, guys, take care.